So, imagine yourself in class one day, and one of your friends comes running up to you crying because she just found out she was pregnant because she wasn't taking birth control. Or maybe one of your buddies is freaking out because he found out that he has an STI because he wasn't wearing a condom. According to the 2011 National Vital Statistics Report, Arkansas ranks highest in teen births and second highest in syphilis cases. This is important to not just women, but to men as well. Because if you're going to become sexually active, then you have the right to practice safe sex. Hi, my name is Lucy Parkhurst, and for the past few months, I've been volunteering with Planned Parenthood, an organization that is dedicated to advocating for reproductive health rights for both families and individuals. Today, I'm going to persuade you that the Arkansas State Board of Education needs to implement comprehensive sex education into our school systems. I will first explain why abstinence-only programs are ineffective. Next, I will explain that Arkansas State Board of Education needs to implement comprehensive sex education and how you can help. And then finally, I will explain the benefits and effectiveness of comprehensive sex education in our school system. So, let's start with the problem. The lack of comprehensive sex education in our school system leaves many minors lacking the knowledge and skills that they need to practice safe sex if that's what they choose to do so. This is important because the lack of sexual health education leaves many minors not knowing the consequences of teen pregnancy and STI prevention. One reason this is a problem is that Arkansas is an abstinence-only state. According to the National Coalition to Support Sex Education 2007 fact sheet, Arkansas is not required by law to teach comprehensive sex education, but if they do, they must stress abstinence. This tells me that Arkansas does not believe in providing teens with the knowledge and skills that they need, but they would rather simply believe that teens should just simply refrain from any type of sexual activity. Another reason this is a problem is that abstinence-only programs provide false information when it comes to contraception. According to the 2014 Planned Parenthood fact sheet, abstinence-only programs often give misleading information when it comes to contraception, condoms, and safe sex. This tells me that Arkansas would rather mislead minors on the safety and effectiveness of condoms rather than provide them with the skills and the knowledge that they do need. Another reason that abstinence-only programs are a problem is that states that provide abstinence-only programs actually have higher rates of teen pregnancy. Now, as you can see from this chart, the red is the states that don't require sex education. And if you look in this chart, you can see that where it's blue, those are the states that are highest with teen pregnancy. So if you remember from the previous slide, the red states correlate with these blue and dark blue states. Final reason that abstinence-only programs are a problem is that they exclude our LGBT youth. LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender individuals. According to a 2011 article by the Human Rights Campaign, abstinence only is not allowed, they are not allowed to discuss any form of contraception. So by design, that excludes the LGBT youth. So this tells me that Arkansas not only misleads the LGBT youth about the effectiveness of contraception, but it also misleads any other minor in the United States, or in Arkansas, excuse me. Back in February of 2014, I talked with a young girl named Betsy Willis. She is 17 years old, and she is now a teen mom. She told me that she never talked with her parents about sex at home, and she didn't really have an outlet to talk about it at school. When she did, in fact, become pregnant, she waited weeks to tell her parents because, one, she was afraid her mom was going to make her get an abortion, or that she was going to guilt trip her about how expensive prenatal care is. This tells me that Betsy is one of the many teens here in Arkansas that are not discussing sex at home and don't have another outlet to turn to. So, as you can see, abstinence-only programs have been proven ineffective year after year here in the United States. but there is a solution to this problem. The Arkansas State Board of Education needs to implement comprehensive sex education into their school systems. I keep saying comprehensive sex education. It's a long word. It takes a minute to get out, and you're probably wondering, well, what is it? According to a 2014 Planned Parenthood fact sheet, comprehensive sex education covers a wide variety of topics ranging from sexual behavior itself to sexuality. And one of the things about it is that it is evidence-based and it is peer-reviewed and it is age-appropriate. It starts in kindergarten, which I didn't know at first, and it builds on itself year after year all the way through 12th grade. And one of the most important things you should know is that in comprehensive sex education, they do stress abstinence. They do explain that abstinence is, that's 100% effective in preventing teen pregnancy and STIs. However, opposed to abstinence-only programs, which tells you sex is bad, all this is bad, they give you other options. Comprehensive sex education talks about things like date rape. It covers topics about relationships, how to talk to people about sex, abortion, adoption. It covers the whole spectrum for a teen. I've told you a little bit about comprehensive sex education, and it seems like a pretty big undertaking. However, there are steps that can be made. The first thing that you can do is just start talking to people about it. Talk with student leaders, talk with parents, talk with the PTA. By having a collective wisdom, you have more of a chance of getting widespread support. Now, after you do that, research sex curriculums that could work for your school. Go online and look at other states and see what they're doing and see what can work for you. See what is age appropriate for your students or your child. Once you do that, contact Planned Parenthood. One of the most important things that they do is they are trained in helping provide information to get comprehensive sex education into school systems. They're a great outlet. And, if you don't do anything else, then just start talking about it. Start talking about it to your friends, to parents, to teachers. I have a 1-year-old daughter, and, it scares me and makes me shake to think that one day she's going to be kissing boys or kissing girls or, doing any of that stuff. But I would rather her be armed with knowledge and facts. I would rather her feel safe coming and talking to me about sex, asking for birth control, than being told no. No, you can't do this until marriage. Because if she's anything like me, if she hears the word no, she's going to rebel. And I don't want that. Those are all the things that comprehensive sex education covers. And as you can see here, this is the difference between abstinence only and sex education. Abstinence plus is comprehensive sex education. As I said, it does incorporate abstinence. But if you look at the bottom, those are the things that abstinence only programs don't provide as opposed to what comprehensive sex education does provide. As you can see, comprehensive sex education is very effective. And one of the reasons that it is effective is that when comprehensive sex education is provided, teen pregnancy rates drop. According to the January 2007 American Journal of Public Health, 86% of the decline in teen pregnancy between 1995 and 2002 have to do with the use of contraception, the more improved use of contraception. And only 14% of that decline is actually attributed to refrain from sexual activity in general. Another reason that comprehensive sex education is effective is that it is supported by medical experts. According to a 2007 online article by the Illinois Caucus for Adolescent Health, the American Medical Association urges schools to implement sex education that is age appropriate and is evidence-based. Also, the American Academy of Pediatrics says that programs with abstinence only and provides information about contraceptives work best. So this tells me that medical professionals not only suggest, but they urge schools to implement comprehensive sex education into their program. Finally, while Arkansas does not believe in providing comprehensive sex education, nationally it is supported by parents. According to a 2007 fact sheet from the Sexuality Information and Education Council of the United States, 93% of junior high school parents and 91% of high school parents either want or agree with comprehensive sex education in their child's school system. Only 4% of junior high school parents and 6% of high school parents say that they don't want it or they don't really have a comment. So as you can see, comprehensive sex education is beneficial and is very effective. Today I have persuaded you that the Arkansas State Board of Education needs to implement comprehensive sex education into their school systems. I first explained why abstinence-only programs are ineffective. Then I explained how you can help get comprehensive sex education into your school system. And finally, I explained the benefits and effectiveness of comprehensive sex education in school systems. So today I urge you to start fight for comprehensive sex education in your child's school or in your brother's school. Now that I've armed you with some knowledge and some facts, you are better equipped to go out and start fighting the fight. Now remember that girl that I told you about who was freaking out that she was pregnant, and the guy that just found out that he has an STI? Well, when comprehensive sex education is provided, this scenario is probably less likely to happen. And instead, the girls are going to go back to talking about who's dating who, and everyone's going to start freaking out about that history test that's coming up later this week. Thank you. I will now open the floor for questions. Yes?
I'm curious about how you said that with the comprehensive, they'll start even in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what they talk about there? 'Cause I find it fascinating.
I haven't done specific research. I can guess that they maybe start, kind of talking about the parts of the body. I know that one article that I looked at, talked about that with comprehensive sex education, they teach kids about, why they're having sexual urges and that it's okay. So I'm not 100% positive on what they do, but that is what I'm guessing that they do. They start with.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yes.
You mentioned like prenatal care is a pretty expensive thing. With children that are on like ARKIDS A or ARKIDS B, does that cover teen pregnancy or?
Yes, and where I did my service learning, Planned Parenthood, that's one of the things they offer. There's a lot of negative connotations with Planned Parenthood, but they provide birth control. They provide and if a child does get pregnant, they work with insurance and things like that to help the child and the family.